We begin in Fayette County, where a man convicted of second-degree murder and the crime scene, West Virginia's maximum security prison. Fayette County's prosecuting attorney Anthony Ciliberti Jr. says this man, 55-year-old Charles Redman, an inmate in Mount Olive, pled guilty to the deadly stabbing of another inmate that occurred in November 2020. West Virginia State Police were called in to investigate that murder. Key evidence, surveillance video of the violence leading up to the lethal attack. That victim was stabbed multiple times. It began to unfold at a table on the main floor of the residence hall inside Mount Olive. The video reportedly shows Redman attempting to punch the victim, who then ran, and Redman followed him up the stairs, continuing the attack. The victim died in a Montgomery hospital later the same evening. The footage also reveals that the victim had not been an aggressor at any point. Investigators later recovered a bloodied 8-inch piece of metal discarded under a plumbing access door. Now, Redman's facing 10 to 40 years in prison. His sentencing is set for Fayette County Circuit Court on July the 8th.